Hello, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the always informative, always entertaining, The Boxing Authorities. Joining me at the desk, as always, Luther Dupree Jr., Smokin Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano. We're going to open up with the Amanda Serrano-Erica Cruz fight, the main event at Madison Square Garden. They talk about her look. They talk about her swag. Let's put up a look and swag. Luther, this is look and swag. Not Kenny Pickett. That's me 41 years ago on the right. That's look and swag.
The white shoes.
The white shoes, the 3 wristbands, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, all right. Serrano Cruz, your thoughts?
Listen, man, Amanda Serrano, I think she was robbed against Katie Taylor. I had her beating her in New York, but this fight was a bloodbath. I mean, Amanda threw a lot of punches. That Erica Cruz was tough. She took a bad hit, but bleeding left to right, took some vicious shots, but she was giving it out. I love this fight. Women's boxing is on fire. You know, these male chauvinists like Smokin Jim that want to keep slandering the sport. Women's boxing is putting on better than the men. I said it. The best are fighting the best. You had 2 undisputed fights. We can't get Earl Spence versus Bud Crawford 4 years in the making because we have ducks like Bud Crawford. But these females are putting it on. Clarissa Shields said it best. The women are giving the fans the best fights. And this fight was a bloodbath. I loved it. I thought the score was a little closer than what they had it. But Amanda Serrano did what she had to do, throws a lot of punches, over 1,900 punches thrown between the 2 ladies. It was action-packed, bloody. I loved it. Amanda's the real deal.
Now, you just made a great point about the women fighting each other. Not only do they fight each other, Luther, they fight rematches. We can't even get one fight with some of the big dogs.
Exactly.
And then there's talks. And I know, and you're right, there's talks. And they show contracts.
But
and we're
nobody's
fight,
signing. Yeah.
But nobody's signing.
And they talk on social media. They go back on
girls
social
are
media, but the fight don't happen.
Nope.
Women, it's happening. I love the sport. And they're carrying the sport right now. I love it. They're filling up Madison Square Garden.
Let me ask you, I'm sorry, Jim, let me ask you. Is it some of the same promoters are promoting the guys and the girls. The girls are fighting, so we can't blame the promoters. You see what I'm trying to say?
We could still blame some of the promoters
All right.
As well. But I think that the
fight,
females,
the girls are saying,
the
let's
women
do
are
it.
saying, we're going to fight. They're not sitting there A side, B side, 70-30. No, I'm going to this promotional company. No, they're making the fights happen. That's what needs to happen, Smokin Jim. Women's boxing is on fire.
Mr. Frazier.
Well, you said female, women, girls. I don't know what to call them. Luther calls them everything, but
I said women's and females.
And they're filling up the theater in Madison Square Garden.
They fill it up. Did they fill it up, Jim?
Theater.
Here you go. Here you go.
Well,
more slander. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is,
Packed
I
house is
didn't
what I
get the
saw.
results of Clarissa Shields' fight.
Well, she didn't fight.
Oh,
She-
no wonder.
she was-
I see now why people came out. But hey, listen. All I'm saying is this.
Find a way to slander.
And I agree with you that
No, you
Amanda Serrano is one of the few that could have fought 40 years ago. She's very experienced. She knows how to fight. She got a great boxing resume. She could have fought in the golden era of women boxing, but it's starting to climb up a little bit now.
Luther, you made a lot of great points, but I'm going to ask you something. I think, you know what kept coming to mind?
But one thing I can say,
Yes.
I wouldn't go to Ireland to fight Taylor. I wouldn't fight her.
Well, Taylor won the fight, so she has the power right now. She has the
got the
belts.
hammer, yeah.
She has the power.
Was that clear? I said I would not go to Ireland to fight.
Why? Because you think, like we said about Haney against Kambosos, he's going to have to do double the work.
No. I don't talk about guys that's fighting inferior fighters. I'm talking about Taylor in Ireland, where she's loved. She didn't.
They say she's the biggest
Serrano
hero.
didn't get the decision here. She's
Right,
not
that's a
going
good
to
point.
get it there.
They say that Taylor's the biggest
Yes.
star from Ireland. period.
20,000 people met her at the airport.
How many met Sonny
She's
Liston?
over there.
Your boy.
Yeah, no,
How many met your boy
about
Sonny
2
Liston?
people, about 2 people, yeah.
But you know what I kept thinking about with Serrano? This is a compliment, I guess, but I think she could be different. She's the Arturo Gatti of the female fights. By that I mean, I think Arturo could have been he was a skilled guy, but he would box for like 2 seconds and then he would go hammer. Serrano has the physical ability to be a boxer puncher. Instead, she may start, then all of a sudden she's slugging. And I don't think she has to do that, and it may catch up with her. Do you think?
And another thing for Luther goes, she could be the first Puerto Rican fighter, male or female, to be undisputed. No other Puerto Rican
She's
fighter
undisputed.
was undisputed.
She's undisputed.
That's
She's
what
the first.
Yeah, she was the first. She did this
First
past
Puerto
weekend.
Rican ever.
Yeah, you're right. All the great Puerto Rican fighters, she's the first.
Right.
You know, the only thing about Serrano, she wastes some punches sometimes.
She just fails away,
she's
right.
And I think like Cruz, she kept doing the same, kept putting her head down. I was waiting for her to just catch her with a couple uppercuts.
But whose fault is that? And what do you always talk about? What do you always get the emails about?
The trainers. I'm trying to figure out why they didn't have her step back. Soon as she bent her head down, hit her with a couple uppercuts.
Why do you know it from home after watching her? And the trainers who were with her morning, noon, and night.
Homewood? Oh,
No, home.
Oh, okay.
We ain't talking about homework. Now, Cruz, one thing about her that I liked was she'd go to the bot. She was more skilled than I thought. Okay. By that I mean I thought she was going to go and try to club out. She'd go to the body twice, then the head. Then she'd go to the head, go to the body. You know what I'm trying to say? It was pretty to watch. She's a nice fighter.
It wasn't that pretty. There was a lot of blood on that.
Well,
on
yeah.
that.
But I mean, she's skilled though, is she not?
She seemed kind of basic to me because she kept doing the same thing over. Weigh-ins were excellent.
Well, you know he likes it.
We
I
love
just
the
like the way
weigh-ins.
she threw punches. And I think Serrano doesn't have to fight that
She's
fight.
going to have to change up her style. I think she goes to,
Especially
to,
order you
to,
get.
to Ireland. You know,
Okay,
I think she's going to have to knock her out to get a decision.
Right.
If she didn't get it in New
Ain't
York,
gonna happen.
I don't know if she gets it in Ireland. She's going to have to really go for the knockout. And she had Katie Taylor hurt numerous times that first fight.
True. In baseball, the older you get, the closer your hands get to your back shoulder because your hands get a little slower and you want to get from point A to point B quicker. As a boxer, I'm making a lot of good points today. In boxing, as you get older, okay, you might not be able to stand toe to toe and all that kind of stuff. So
has
she
over
may have to
45
adjust.
she's had
Yeah,
over 45
but to Luther's
fights.
point, and to your point, she's going to go to Ireland. And that place is going to just go crazy. And every punch Taylor lands, whether it's a great punch or not, the place is going to explode. And do you think that does influence judges?
I believe so. It's hard, for certain fighters to get a decision in other, unless you're dominant, like
Haney.
Devin Haney was against George
Well, you
Kambosos.
know what else influences the judges? Taylor's better. that influences
No,
the judges too.
I disagree. I think Amanda's better. I think she clearly.
She already got beat once.
And I think that was the wrong decision. If you look at punch count, you look at who was controlling the action, and you look at who was hurt, Amanda won every single category. I'm trying to figure out how Taylor got it. Look at the punch count.
You looked
look
at
how
all
many
that.
times she almost got
You
hurt.
looked at all that as a fan. Me and the rest of the judges, we had.
I believe it was
winning.
more Eddie Hearn than those judges. Because if you look at it
But you're
from an
sending-
objective viewpoint,
But you're sending
Amanda
her back
dominated.
over. You're sending her to Ireland.
She wants her payback. She knows she beat her the first time. She had her hurt
It's a
numerous
nice payday,
times.
too.
She has to finish it.
Well, let me ask you this question for the people out there. I know the answer, but how is she undisputed when she lost to Taylor?
Different
weight classes, Jim.
That's what I said for the fans.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
the
Jim.
answer.
Now, do you think another
thought-
good thing that came out of this fight? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought it was a CTE set.
I thought it was a
Jim.
PR thing.
That Harrison gave him, right?
Right.
That Harrison. Now, another good thing that came out of this fight is that we now have another name in the mix, and Erica Cruz. Do you agree with that?
I believe she can be a player. She showed a lot of heart. Doesn't have much power, only 3 KOs, but she has a nice game plan,
Yeah.
and she fought pound for pound, maybe
But
the
this
best
is the
blown
fighter.
great-
out.
But this is the great era, women boxing.
It is.
What does that
It's
mean,
deep.
Jim?
It's deep.
It's deep, Jim.
And it's deep. Hey, and it's deep too. Remember that joke? Yeah. Okay. All right. The other great fight: Alicia Baumgaudner against Elhem Makhaled. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Listen, Elisa Baumgaudner, once again, she impressed with her outfit.
Right hand lead. Love that.
And she had a lot of power, dropped her numerous times, had her hurt. I think, after the fight, she came out and said, I've never heard it. She said, my period came on when I was right before the fight. And she was firing. But she ran out a little steam. I think she could have stopped her if she had a little more energy. Interesting outfit to wear.
All right. Let's move on. Go ahead.
But she put on a great show, and it was just in her face, pound for pound. She has a lot of power in both hands, and
Quick.
I don't see a lot of people beating her. I would love to fight. She was talking about Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor winner. I would love to see her get that fight. And then also, of course, she has to get the Michaela Mayer fight. A rematch would be excellent, but just tremendous night of boxing. She became undisputed. right before Amanda Serrano. It was just an excellent fight. You know, she has a great that nickname, the Bomb. Yes, she's the Bomb. That right hand has taken a lot of females out, and she's a next star. I mean, she's on.
She's
her
doing
way.
commercials. We won't name the place, but she's on TV doing
yeah,
commercials.
yeah. She has a number of commercials already. She's box office.
She is.
She's a snack, that's for sure.
Snack.
That's a new one. I like that.
Oh,
I like that. The thing I like about her.
tried to use some new language. Don't put that one back.
I
brother.
like
Leave that one
that.
to A snack.
Now the thing I liked about her is when she came in, she wasn't wild like you said. Serrano misses punches. She was very accurate. I like the right hand leads.
Only thing I don't like, she keeps that left hand down a little bit, that Tony Harrison style.
Yeah.
Tony Harrison is a trainer.
Yeah, Tony. But if he's telling her that might not be the smartest thing in the world
Right.
to do.
And I
He
noticed-
got away with it.
And I noticed she got hit with a couple overhand rights because that left hand is so low. So
just
that's
because
something she has to watch.
which again, back to baseball.
He didn't get away with it against Jamel
Charlo,
Charlo.
no. You can't put
Or
a blanket
her.
on people. I had twins on my team that batted differently. There's basics that you have to adhere to, but you don't tell everybody to do the same thing. Just because he did it, you don't teach people how to fight like Roy Jones.
Well, Roy Jones tried Eubanks to fight like him, and what happened? He got hit with a couple rights
point.
and went out
Great point.
to Liam Smith.
Your thoughts on the Baumgaudner fight?
Well, again, you know, the golden era of women boxing was
Jim,
up here, and then
Jim,
it
now
dropped
you
down.
already- you
Now
lost
it's
that battle,
building
Jim.
back up.
You already lost
Listen,
that battle.
Alicia, that's my baby. But she's basically an amateur fighter. Like Luther said, number one, she carries her left hand low. She was getting nailed with that right hand. Number two, you know, you're always taught. I teach the fighters that I train, I always teach them to circle counterclockwise so you can stay away from that right hand. She was going clockwise and getting nailed with that right hand. She got hit way too often. It's almost like I like people to snap that jab. She brings it up like a Larry Holmes, and you know he kissed the canvas many a times. I think more recently he's still kissing the canvas. But hey, listen, like I said,
She has yet to touch the
love
canvas,
it.
Jim.
These are two very inexperienced fighters
Jim.
that are fighting one another. Basically, they're one step above amateur level, but it's a very competitive. It's fun. A lot of punches thrown, but from a boxing historian standpoint, somebody that watched boxing from all different eras, they have a long way to go. as
Spoken
they
like
climb.
a male chauvinist.
No, I love it. I love it.
Discrediting
I
a
love
unified,
it.
undisputed
It's like a
champion.
tough woman
That's what you
contest.
just said.
No, I disagree. I disagree. Now, we said this before on the show. They don't go in there, and Luther said it again. They don't go in there,
it's
wailing.
not- there's
They
a
look
big
good.
difference
Give me
between
some
both
records.
men.
Give me some records.
It's not about records.
No,
It's
I'm
about
just saying, give
skill
it to
level.
me.
It's about
give it
skill
to me.
level.
Give it to me.
It's
13
about-
For whatever
fights,
reason, and we got an
13 fights
email.
versus how many fights? Give me some records here. Can you remember?
Okay,
Okay.
They don't, but they still look good, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So the tough women contest.
They're not brawling.
No, they're
Look
just
at her.
There's no
Look at-
defense. You see they have their guard
Right.
up. They're popping the
What, you
jab.
saying tough women don't have no defense?
I'm saying
Okay,
a lot
let
of tough
me
guys,
say this.
they're just throwing.
Okay.
And that's not what they're doing.
Do
This
they
is
look-
a champion.
do they
These are
look-
the best of the best of their weight
This is
class,
undisputed.
Do they look awkward?
No.
Are they missing and going
No.
like this?
No.
They look good.
Right? Or they inexperienced?
So,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
they're working.
Yes.
They look good though.
Yes.
What
They
do you
look
consider?
good.
What do you consider experience, Joe?
I
How many
look-
fights?
I look-
How many fights do you have to
I
have?
look at this. I look at these ladies as the level of, say, a Big
Richard
Baby
Torez.
or somebody
No.
like that's just climbing. I didn't realize they were undisputed champs because
'Cause you
they
didn't
should
have your
not be.
glasses on.
So you're saying that the people that's in their weight class, they're here, so the people in their weight class is way down here, like amateur status.
Amateur
No.
status to me.
I enjoy it though, especially the weigh-ins.
I think they look good. I think when I say that, I don't think you can watch a non-fan. Let's say they watch the fight. Then I say, boy, those girls look awkward. They look clumsy. Or they're no,
Exactly.
they don't. They look good.
But
I
we're
think they look good.
experts. They're holding the bat like this.
Right, exactly. But they don't. They're
They
not
don't.
clubbing. They're not. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, they
They're
are.
not clubbing.
Yes, they are.
Did you see those highlights with Baumgaudner when she's not rushing, when she's moving forward, throwing
Put her
punches.
left hand down.
No, not the one I saw right there. I'm talking about she was throwing
were
punches.
t-
Do you know? See, everybody after the fight, a girl that she can't beat, man.
Watch. Now, do they look clumsy? Look at that nice right hand shot. Look at the right hand overhand.
The left, right, the overhand right.
And she has
even
no
the
ability
opponent.
to close. Don't you think that a Sugar Ray Leonard would have closed that out? She has no ability
She's
to close.
a great closer.
She
but
should've-
this girl
How
so
come?
You
hard.
gotta give that
This
girl
girl-
credit. You gotta give that girl credit.
No, you gotta
One,
give her.
she told
all
you she
gotta
didn't have
do-
much energy. First of all, Jim.
She got up
and the
real
other girl,
quick and got her put her hands up.
No,
She
no,
wanted to
no,
fight.
no,
And
no,
LM
no,
showed
no.
a lot of
The
heart.
referee
Look,
wanted
she had both of
she
her
didn't
hands
give
up. Look
the
at her
referee a
guard.
reason to stop the
Did
fight.
she look clumsy? No. Did
the
she look
referee
awkward?
was
She
No.
looked like
looking
she
in.
couldn't close the show. the
She's
deal.
trying. That girl's tough.
Look, she's moving. She's getting out of the way. She's trying to hold
That
on.
girl's tough. You
Don't
gotta
try
give
to
her
You
push
guys
her
are show
out.
on the clips you want to show. I watched the fight, and she
I don't
should've
think you
closed-
watched the fight.
She should have closed
Why
her
should
out
she have
many
closed-
a times. The referee was begging, just give me a punch.
No,
I'll close it out.
listen.
But
Once
then
again, you
when
must have
she
watched
can't-
without your glasses
when she
on
can't beat-
because she did everything.
In
Can
my
you- Can you
opinion-
give her some credit?
In my
Can you give
opinion-
her opponent some
I
credit?
give her credit. That's
you
my
did
baby.
not. No, I said give her
In
opponent
my
some credit.
opinion, she can't beat Meyer. And after the
She
fight,
did beat Meyer, but
in
whatever.
my opinion, she
What
can't beat her
But
again.
she already did.
In my opinion,
But
she
that's
can't
why
beat
you're
her
wrong
again.
again.
That's why she's running from her. But after the fight, Meyer said that she needs to do road work. And I disagree with that because people don't understand how much when you just come on your period, it could take it out of you. Do you know? Man, you get winded.
Well, she did get winded
And she still
quite a
won.
bit, and she still won. And I want to give Alhem Makhaled
Yes.
a lot of credit because
Ton of
she
credit.
took some hellacious shots that Baumgaudner has taken people out before, and she kept coming.
She moved
kept
up in the
fighting.
rankings with a loss.
Exactly. She did everything she needed to do. She had her guard up. She took some shots, went down, got back up, and still
And
was
she can beat
firing.
most of the girls.
Yes, she can beat
She's
most
tough.
of the
Real
women.
good for six fights.
Before we go on a break,
She had
though,
more than
Jim
6
talked
fights,
about people that he trains. I seen the jewelry they wear, which is zero. Look at the jewelry he's wearing. So something ain't right with the purses and with the
Jim,
money.
how many belts have your fighters won?
It
Zero.
don't matter
The
about
same
belt.
amount as
It don't matter
mine.
about the
Zero.
belt. I trained a
How
lot
many
of,
victories
I
have
trained
they
a lot
won?
of fighters from Philly. They don't care about the belts.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the ESPN fights. We have our Boxing Authorities news and, of course, mailbag. So come on back to the Boxing Authorities. Welcome back to the, what do they call that, GYOBN, whatever the hell that girls go to. All right, welcome back to the Boxing Authorities. Emmanuel Navaratte, as they always say, 37-1 and 31 knockouts, retained the WBO featherweight belt with a knockout of the very tough Liam Wilson, who's now 11-2-7. I thought of Mr. Dupree because he always talks about Buster Douglas getting 3 weeks to get up, which is not true. Tyson Fury, it took him like the referee helped him up.
That's true.
Liam Wilson
All that's true.
is, what do you call that when you...
He's appealing.
Appealing.
Yeah, and he needs to because this fight, it's an early fight of the year candidate, first of all. No
question.
Because he had Navaratte hurt. Wilson had him hurt down, had him hurt bad, and the referee gave him maybe, I counted 27 seconds of recovery time. I counted myself, but all right.
These are
just highlights of Navaratte, and he's moving up. They're trying to set him up with Oscar Valdez, but he's a tremendous fighter. But I want to go to the highlights where he's fighting
Wilson.
Wilson. I think that's the one we want to get to. But he's a tough
There you
fighter.
go.
Here it is. Now he got caught with a nice left over the top, and he's hurt bad. You know, I don't know how he recovered. Well, you get 30 seconds, you can recover. But look, he's down.
1,
bad.
2,
I don't
3,
think we have all of it.
4,
He's down. Look,
5,
the referee's not. He's
6,
no, he started at 4.
7,
He
right
should
here.
have got the count from the other side. But look at that left. I think Navaratte's tough, but he looked a little soft in the belly in this fight. But he came back after that 30 seconds. Well, this is still a knockout. But I think he could have really finished him there. But once it got later, 5th round, Navaratte started coming on bad. He throws a lot of punches, but leaves himself wide open. His fights are usually exciting because of it.
Yeah, right.
But this is an early fight of the year candidate. Both of those guys landed. They took shots, and here it is, the 9th round. Just too many punches for Wilson. The referee.
You think they
jumped
should
in
have stopped
and
it?
No, I think it could have gone a little longer.
I agree.
Because he still had his guard up. He wasn't getting hit with a lot of punches.
The ref with Baumgaudner and that girl, he wouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah, but I think it was an early Fight of the Year candidate. I think Wilson definitely has to appeal this because that guy and Navaratte, I give him credit because once he got up, what did he do? He spit out his mouthpiece to give him another 10 seconds. Veteran move, but it was a tremendous fight. I enjoyed it. Both guys toe to toe. I'd like to see a rematch. I'd like to see a rematch.
I thought about that, but I don't think you will.
But what's going to happen? They're already set up. Oscar Valdez with his T is going to go ahead and fight Navaratte. They've been setting that up for years. Would be another banger. I have Valdez winning, of course, but tremendous fight of the year, early fight of the year. That's on my ballot right now.
Jim, the fight is under appeal. How many appeals do you know of in sports, period, not just boxing, that actually go to the guy who's making the appeal?
Very, very few. And I agree with Luther. This is up for Bum of the Year. I couldn't wait. I was so happy. They said, you got two guys that can't even fight. I mean, I see so many falls. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I don't like watching featherweight fights. I ain't got to watch these guys again. No, I mean, there's nobody that ducked. There's no defense. They both wild punches.
That makes for a great fight. That makes for an exciting fight.
If I didn't love boxing, I'd have turned it off. If I didn't do this show, I'd have turned it off. I was so happy when the referee stopped it. The opponent did not complain. He didn't complain until he filled out the appeals paper. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. There were no terrible as far as talent.
There were no periods. But having said that, I thought it was a good, exciting fight.
My goodness!
And the champion got knocked out. The champion got knocked down.
Who's that karate guy in the movies with
Ralph
the ponytail?
Macchio.
With the ponytail.
Steven
Seagal.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Seagal threw better defensive punches than that when he was fat. When he had a gut.
I thought it was a good, exciting fight. I'm with Luther. I would have liked to have seen a rematch, but that's not going to happen because we move on to Valdez. Is Navaratte? Is
there a category for Bum of the Year?
We can have
This
one.
was a fight of the year, Jim. Both guys were hurt. Both
They
guys showed heart.
fought. They didn't dance.
Nobody gave up.
Is Navaratte on the way down, or do you want to give Wilson credit, or a little bit of both?
Ooh, I think Navaratte, the higher he goes, the more flaws start to show up. When he was
The higher talent or higher weight?
Higher weight and higher talent. Because before he was so much bigger than everybody.
Right
He
now.
was so big to be fighting, these guys 122, 126. Jim, you throw that around. You throw that around too easy.
You just basically said it without saying the
No,
word.
I would never say that.
The higher he go, the
No,
more
but I'm
he's
saying because
exposed.
he's fighting better talent. Oscar Valdez is a world champion who's a solid 130 guy.
Well, he didn't fight nobody with no talent in there, and he didn't have no talent.
It was a surprise that he did as well as he did.
It was.
That's why I'm not. I don't know if it's him. What do they call that? Frankenstein. I don't know if you want to give Wilson the credit for being better than we thought, or you did say Navaratte was a little soft in the stomach. Maybe he took this guy. Even that kind of, I think they mentioned it a little bit, at least on Twitter. Some people said, "Is he taking this guy lightly?"
Yeah, it looked like it.
Which you should never do.
It looked like he was eating. I mean, I saw the midsection. I think if Wilson went more to the body, he could have got him out of there.
First white Wilson ever met.
Wait, with Mark Wilson, the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, man.
Well, let's
Jim
have a new
is
segment.
Name me a
White men who are named Wilson.
Name me a white Washington. You can't other than
Jim,
George.
come on,
George.
man.
That's it.
George.
Martha.
Who?
Martha.
His
Martha.
wife.
Yeah. That's it.
George's mom and
The
dad.
rest is
There
all
you go,
black.
George's mom and
The
dad.
rest
Wait a
is
minute,
all
Jill.
black.
Wait a minute.
Even Washington, D.C.
Gene Washington, the wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers.
He was black.
I know he was. I'm just kidding.
I liked him.
He was good. He had the good throw and everything. He was a hell of a wide receiver. So we touch on everything here. All right, now I'm gonna make my boy happy here. Richard Torez, who, number one, why didn't they promote this guy more on the card instead of just the number?
Because he was fighting a bum. Richard Torres, he's on his Bum of the Month club. These guys that Richard Torres are fighting, I think I might take Jim over some of these
That
guys.
left uppercut, Luther. What did he do? I mean, yeah, he just went
Oh,
like
my
this. He was
goodness.
leaning in.
Here
He went
it
like
is.
this, Luther. He wound up and he just clocked that.
He hit
thing.
him. Remember Sugar Ray used to do
With
it?
the bolo,
He
that's
might-
right, that's
he
what I
might
said.
have run-
When I
he
saw
could have
that,
done that. Please,
I
Russ,
told
Russ,
Linda, I said, that looked like, she don't know, but Sugar Ray with the bolo.
Look at, come
Watch
on, man.
one.
This guy didn't know.
Watch
Look
it.
at this. Oh,
Watch
he-
this. Watch this uppercut.
Oh,
Wait a
man, this
minute.
guy was just
And
looking
this is
for a
real
place to
time,
lay down.
Luther.
And
Look at
Torez, you know, he looks like a 70s porn star, but he gets in there and he fights. Look at that. Get this guy out of there, man. Torez is an Olympian. There's no way he should be fighting this guy. Did this
How
guy
the hell do you know about 70s
man,
porn star?
Oh my good. Look at this guy, man. Get this guy out of here, man. And the referee said, "Go ahead, keep
I know, you
fighting.
good.
Let me see him get you again." He can't even walk back.
Man.
Left.
Look at that left. That was a
my
long
God.
left, boy. It was nice,
Eyes
though.
gone. It was a great left. I mean, it was a great left. But he should. Torez is going to kill somebody unless they get this man competent competition. Come on, man. Look at that left.
Hey, which
That
fight
was a
would you like
punch
to
of
see? Look at his
bad-
feet. He's off his feet. Remember when Foreman did that to Frazier?
Yeah, he almost knocked him out of the ring. Look
Hey,
at that.
would you like to
my
see
goodness.
Bryant against that one guy that Torres knocked out like in a couple seconds? That'd be a hell of
my
a
goodness.
fight.
Look at this.
Would you
Jim.
like to see that fight, Luke?
Referee just got out of the way. The referee would have got
Look
it.
at
Look
that.
at that.
Oh.
Referee. Oh my gosh.
Remember that guy he fought that you really criticized when he shouldn't have been in the ring?
Oh.
Torres?
Oh,
How about
yeah.
him against
Oh,
Bryant?
my
Who do you
goodness.
got?
Oh, I got Bryant.
Yeah, me too.
Look at this, Jim. I mean, look at this guy's
at
just
that. Look at
rushing
that
in,
lump.
no guard. He didn't even
Oh.
throw a punch. He was pushing.
I didn't know he lifted him off his feet
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness, Torez has power, but
Yeah,
we don't
but
know
that-
how good he is fighting these bums, man. They got to stop getting these guys out of the bar.
But he is, it's only his, what, fourth, fifth win, so you got to get him some confidence.
But you got to get him more than these guys. He can't even get it. These guys can't get out of the first round. They're getting drilled. This is
Speaking
bad.
of that, sorry,
They
we
want
won't
the
touch
next
on that.
Belonga. Just setting them in with a bunch of bums who have 19 wins and fought nobody
I was
with a winning record.
disappointed they didn't promote the fight more, let him know he was on the undercard. That I was shocked. When I turned the fight on, I said, damn, Torres, and Jim loves him. Jim didn't say Torres is on. We didn't know.
We know Bob Barham's not doing any promoting right now, man. He's not doing anything, man. He just says there's a fight coming on. You know, we need Don King back. Don King is not still out there
And
promoting.
say what you want about Hearns. He's out there promoting. Jim, your thoughts on your boy?
Well, I say it all along that this is the modern day Rocky Marciano.
Oh, goodness.
I've never seen in the history, and I'm a boxing historian, I've never seen in the history of boxing a guy that throws a better left uppercut in the history of boxing. Can you name one that threw a better left uppercut? I mean, he set it up nice with two jabs.
He didn't
Jerry
have to,
Cooney.
He didn't have to
Did
set
you
it up
see
at all,
Did
Jim.
you see the extension he got on
He didn't
that
have to set it up,
turned
dude.
to the hip?
That's right.
He had two
It
of
was
his
down
arms.
from the floor.
He had two of his arms like
It was
this.
one of those
Jim.
Tony Galento
come on,
shots.
man.
So
It was
you
one of those
agree
Tony
that
Galento
It was-
shots.
he throws a
already
great left
throws
uppercut.
The best
No.
left uppercut.
He
in
throws
the
a
history
great
of
left
boxing.
uppercut, but
In the
we'll
history
see.
of
Against-
boxing.
Against who?
In the history of boxing.
Not in the history of.
I've never seen that. And Luther talked about the power. It's all there. This is a guy, again, this is a modern day Rocky Marciano. This is a guy, Luther, you say I don't like American heavyweights. This is American heavyweight I can get behind. And He's
not black, of course you can,
and
Jim.
I'm all for him. And you can't compare him. You can't compare him to other guys that peaked out after so many knockouts. This is a guy that can continue this throughout his career. He comes from
Jim, do we know if he has stamina? Do we know if he can take a punch? You're putting all this on him right now. He hasn't gotten out of the second round yet.
Yes, I can
How?
because number one, his grandfather came here as an immigrant, and then his great grandfather. His grandfather was
That's
a great.
good. Okay.
His grandfather was.
What's
a
that
great
got to do with
boxer.
his in the
Okay,
ring?
you got his.
His
We
grandfather
got
was
his
a great
history.
boxer. His dad fought in the Olympic trials. Was a great boxer.
We're
and
talking
now
about
he-
him, not his lineage.
And
Yeah.
Smokin' Joe Frazier
and he's
was when
And
he
you-
wasn't
and you
his
stole-
son.
and you stole-
He
and you
can go
stole Smokin'
12
Joe
rounds.
Frazier's
He
name.
can go,
Yes.
and he can go 12 rounds right now.
How do you
know?
know?
He's in shape because of who's training.
Who's
But how about if
trying-
somebody hits him?
Come
You
on,
know
man.
that takes the wind out of you. We don't know anything right
Jim,
now.
you're
Yes,
Right
he
now,
was.
all we know.
He was one of the best amateur boxers we
Did
ever
he
had.
Did he win gold?
He got
Did
a
he win
silver.
gold?
The guy that beat him is 15-0.
Okay.
Who?
Right
Who is
now.
he? Who is he?
The guy that beat him.
Okay.
The 6'6", 15-0.
But you,
So they
so
could
you, what do you
be-
think about him?
Huh?
The guy that beat him.
I think he's top 10 already.
Listen, you
Luther,
can't,
all
you
we
can't
know
put
about
a crowd
him-
on neither
Top
one of
10.
these guys, Jim.
Huh? You can't. Yeah.
You
Luther,
can't.
all we know right now is he's
he can
5-0, and
he can beat bums. And he's
And he's
almost
dominated them.
ending lives
He's
with these guys he's fighting.
and he's dominating them, but we don't know if, like you said, we don't know if he has stamina. We don't know if he has a chin. We don't know if he can take a body shot. We don't know anything.
We don't know if he has, and we don't know if he has layers or is he just all.
Right.
How long
You
can
never
he do
seen
that?
him fight an amateur?
I saw the whole amateurs. Unlike you, I watched his whole amateur run to the silver medal.
Well, you talking Olympic.
He's
I'm
doing
talking-
everything he's
I've
supposed to
watched
do.
everything now.
Right now, he's
beating a
doing
lot of
everything he's
guys that
supposed to do. He's 5-0. That's good, and that's good.
I hope he's
right,
as good as you say.
Right, but
I'm
we're not going to put
he's
him in.
better.
In the
I'm
words of
holding
Dennis
back.
Green,
He had him
in
top
the words
three
of Dennis
pound for
Green,
pound.
if you want to crown him, then crown him. I'm not going
Right.
to do it till he fights somebody with a winning record.
was gonna say Dennis
or a
Green.
champion, Jim.
Right.
Well,
You get all this hype.
We know how you got off Effie's bandwagon. We know how
Well, no.
we know how you can get it on and
Effie
off.
did it all to himself when he left Ronnie Shields.
He's 5-0. We like him. It was a nice uppercut, but now it's time to
He
go up
got to
against.
step it up, man.
You have to.
He can't
Yeah, we
be
got to step it
fighting
up
these
now.
guys, man.
Now it's time to step up a little. I'm not saying fight, Fury, but let's fight maybe not even Big Baby Anderson yet.
No, he's not ready.
He's
for it.
ready for
No.
Big Baby. Been running from him since
Please.
amateurs.
I'd like him to fight Jerry Force, the guy that Big Baby just knocked
go.
out. Step up. That's a
I
nice
like
step
that.
up
You
fight
think
for him.
That'd be a
Jerry
real nice-
Forrest would fight this?
For
You
money,
know-
why not
no,
ESPN?
Listen,
He fought-
anybody that
he
knows
fought- he
anything,
fought Big Baby.
Anybody that
Chill.
knows anything about boxing, and most trainers do, they ain't gonna put their fighter in with this killer. This is Rocky Marciano.
But where's Forrest going to go? Who else is he going to do? He's going to make a nice buck. He's going to be on TV. If he wins, it's a big upset. That's a good fight.
I'd
He
like to see
can
that.
wind up in the Buffalo Hospital.
All right. The Boxing Authority News, Chris Mannix of ESPN says Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia they've hit a snag over the rematch
Get that
clause, which
crown
is
off your head,
ridiculous
Ryan.
because we haven't even fought the first damn match yet, and we're going to worry about a rematch clause.
Listen, Ryan Garcia, the pullout king, as I told you, he still hasn't signed the contract, and he will never sign the contract. It's just all clout chasing. He says these big names, then he's going to fight somebody else. Tank Davis more than likely will be fighting Gary Russell or possibly a Frank Martin. I told you when this was going on, Ryan Garcia would never sign this contract, and I'm going to be right again.
And I was also right whenever I said Garcia is going to be hard to deal with because he thinks he brings too
doesn't
much
want
to the
that
table,
fight.
plus he doesn't want the fight. Mr. Frazier.
Duck.
far
Duck
as-
sauce
far
or
as-
Duck
far as-
Garcia.
As far as Gary Russell, Meek Mills owns the rights to that fight, next fight.
It's
But
up to him,
listen,
right?
Hey, listen, I think it's going to happen. I'm a little disappointed because I like Tank Davis, and I'm disappointed that he's going to step up to the plate in April and get massacred by Ryan Garcia. This fight is all wrong for Tank. Luther, again, is the guy that will jump on and off bandwagons. He'll be off a Tank as the rest of America.
Before he hits the ground, Luther will be done with him, right?
Yeah, I mean, not only are you going to take the beating of your life, but now you want a rematch? I mean, that's career suicide. I can see why Floyd got rid of this guy.
Garcia's asking for the rematch, Jim.
Well, again,
B-side.
so
a B-side guy's trying to
so-
make all
so
these
you-
changes.
So you say, but Ryan Garcia wants to fight in April.
Yeah, but he don't want to fight Tank in April.
He wants to fight Tank. He's want to fight Tank. He's going to destroy Tank. This is a bad fight, a bad matchup for Tank. Ryan Garcia is going to take his career this way. Tank is going the other way. Floyd Mayweather can see the future. That's why he got rid of Tank.
Let me ask you a
left
question.
Floyd. First,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
of all,
Garcia-
Tank left Floyd. It wasn't the other way around.
Either
Tank
way,
was the biggest fighter that Floyd had. Tank chose to leave.
Either way,
Jim,
I know
stop,
you're
stop.
getting it from the black press. Either way, Floyd and Tank
Floyd
ain't
said
together.
it. Floyd said if a fighter wants to move on, he can go. So, Jim, all your revisionist history, stop.
Do you think Garcia will fight a top 5 contender
No.
in April? Or is he going to fight somebody
Another
like a John-
bum.
Yeah.
Well, I know in April he ain't gonna fight a champion because Tank will never be a champ. He wants to take
Ryan Garcia has
Who's he
never
gonna
had
fight?
a
Okay,
belt.
let's say
Ryan
that they-
Garcia has never had a belt in
He's
his life. You do
23
know
years
that.
old.
Let's say Garcia
He's not
Davis
23, he's
doesn't
older
happen
than
in April,
23.
which we don't think it will. Do you now? If you say he's going to fight a top 5 guy and he fights him, I think you'll be okay with that. But I don't think he will fight a top 5 guy.
I don't think there's a top 5 guy other than Tank that'll fight Ryan Garcia. Why would they fight him?
Money,
Because they see
they
what
can
I
beat
see.
him, there's holes
Would
in his-
Would a type five,
I-
would a top 5 guy fight Sugar Ray Leonard? Who
He's not Sugar Ray
Who
Leonard.
he reminds me of. He's
Everybody
better-
wants
he's
to
better
fight
than
Ryan
Sugar.
Garcia.
There's
because
there's
of the
holes
flaws.
in his flaws, and there's
Who?
money in the fight. Am I right or wrong?
I know there's holes in this game. I don't
No,
know how much
there's
money.
two things. There's holes. I see holes, and there's money. So I think
I don't
the
think
top
he's a big-
5
I
will
don't think
fight
he's
him.
a big draw as everybody
I think the
says.
Tank Davis and Garcia fight will happen in April, and I think it's the biggest mistake, the second biggest mistake in Tank's life. The
here we go.
first biggest mistake in Tank's life
Go ahead.
was pulling
I thought
pulling
you were
away
gonna-
from Floyd.
I thought you were going to say something else. Okay. I said all along it's not going to happen at all, but here we are, mid-February. They're going to have to sign that contract by when? Like this week, next week, if they're going to fight April 15th
I mean,
for training, promoting purposes.
I mean, they're still training. I mean, either way, both of them are going to fight in April. I just don't think they'll be fighting each other.
Can I ask you guys something real quick? I think Oscar De La Hoya, everything in life is up and down. I think his promotional company is inching up a little bit.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Why? Why?
Fights like Davis.
Well, we don't know. He has a sadness fight. He just
He's
lost.
trying to get Bud.
He just lost Canelo.
He's trying to get
Virgil
Bud.
Ortiz. The fight with Staniotis fell through. We'll see if it's rescheduled. We'll see. Who else does he have? Munguia.
Well, okay, Munguia may end up getting a fight against
We'll
Charlo,
see.
but
no, he's not fighting Charlo. It may be Triple G. It won't be Charlo.
well, but he's fighting Triple G. There's money to be made from that Golden Boy Promotions. But what I'm saying is, he's trying to get Bud. He's being aggressive.
Yeah.
It reminded me when George Steinbrenner years ago in '77 went after Reggie Jackson, and he
Yes.
romanced him, and he went after
Yeah.
him, and he got him. Oscar's starting to be more, be more aggressive.
Listen, out of that $1 billion that DAZN lost, Golden Boy was responsible for a lot. Eddie Hearn was responsible for about 50%. The rest is Golden Boy. I don't see it. I think he's done. I don't think he's done great with. He had all the talent. He had all the fighters at PBC used to be with Golden Boy. Canelo used to be with Golden Boy. He's lost all of them.
Okay.
And he's
he's
talking.
building-
And
now
he's
he's building
he's
back
talking.
up.
He was
That's
just
what I'm saying.
he was
That's what I'm
just
saying.
talking about selling Golden Boy. He was online talking about selling.
You sell that too.
He said it
you
online.
can speak Spanish
He
now?
said it online. He's like, we may sell Golden Boy.
Well, they
Now-
always throw that
Can
in
you
there.
bring
but-
some of that in?
I'm really quoting.
I'm with
Yeah.
Jim. I think it's moving up. I think it's
So,
up and down.
if moving up means it was at the bottom. Is what you're saying?
No. If somebody has
It
$1 million
wasn't a-
and he gets $2 million, he moved up.
From now on, we need 2 sources.
Please.
For Luther when he talks.
Jim, we didn't caught you. How many fake news SMG that you didn't made up, Jim?
Talk Sports media reports Frank Warren has revealed that Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk looks like they're going to move. Looks like they're going to fight April 29th, and it's either going to be in Saudi Arabia or England. For Fury's WBC and Usyk's WBA, IBF, and WBO world titles. Your thoughts on this fight?
It's about damn
And will it
time.
happen?
I believe it will happen. There's a
Oh,
lot of
all
money
right.
on the line. I think Fury, we know it's not going to be in the U.S. because he's not allowed in the USA. Usyk is going to make it tough for him. I think it does happen, and I'm excited about it. It's about time. I felt years ago Eddie Hearn should have made the fight with Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We should have had Undisputed back in 2017, 2018. If we get it now, I'll be happy about it. And hopefully Wilder or somebody else will get the winner. I'm
believe
excited
so.
about it.
Smoking.
Well, I got no respect for anybody when their country's getting blown to smithereens.
Oh, Jim, here you go, Jim.
Classmates and cousins are getting blown off the face.
Like
of
you
earth.
signed up
And
for the
all-
Army or any armed
and all
forces,
they
Jim.
care about is sports. But again, we live in a different generation. I mean, he fought in the war for 10 days before he went back to boxing.
Word is, Jim ducked the draft. I don't know, Jim. You talk all this. I heard you ducked the draft.
What do they call it? F5 or F4?
I heard you ran to Canada, Jim.
But again, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that Tyson Fury is the greatest heavyweight
Here you go
I've
with
ever
this.
seen, and I've seen them all. You know, I don't know.
You
if
didn't see them all.
I don't know if he could have beat, Jack Johnson or not. That'd have been a
You
good
didn't see
fight.
Jack Johnson,
but,
did you, Jim?
I just on film.
Third row
Just
against
on-
Willard.
Just on film. Anytime
Or what was his
You
name?
see it, so again, more fake news. I see them all.
Anytime you walk into an arena where they tell you if you beat this white man, we're going to hang you right there. And it was legal to hang black folks then. And you get in the car with a white woman and drive off when blacks couldn't even drive at that time. You're a bad man. You ain't just Shaft. But I think as far as, I think that Tyson Fury could have beat Rocky Marciano.
Let's stick to this fight, Jim.
Cassius Clay.
We already proved you wrong, but let's just stick to this fight.
And he looks at Usyk as a middleweight. So I think that this is an easy.
And Usyk will be
easy
working
fight.
that fat belly.
I think this will be an easy fight for Tyson Fury.
It won't be easy. He's going to
It
work that
won't
fat
be easy,
belly.
but let me say this. Everybody and so-called experts, they say Fury moves like Muhammad.
Yes.
One time I
No,
saw
he
him
doesn't.
in the corner doing this.
Yes.
And then they'll say Usyk is hard to box and he moves. I don't see it. When you say somebody who moves, again, like Luther sometimes gets on me when I say Kenny Pickett is no Dan Marino, because he's not a Dan Marino.
Right.
But when you say Fury moves and Usyk moves, when I think of moving for a heavyweight, first guy comes to mind is Muhammad Ali. And there's no way in hell.
He moved like a middleweight. He just floated out there.
Yes,
Who?
Trevor Burbick.
Muhammad
Oh,
Ali.
yeah,
Ali.
yeah.
He moved like-
Oh, Luther, I mean, Jim, you
No,
can't
he
imagine
He was
that.
100
Yes,
years
Leon-
old.
You
Yes,
can't.
Leon Spinks.
Peyton Manning, are you going to grade him against his last game?
No,
or when he was
I'm not going to grade him when he was
Leon
with the,
Spinks.
with the Broncos and he couldn't throw more than 10 yards.
No.
I'm talking about, when I talk about Peyton Manning, when he's with the Colts in the prime of his
Right.
career.
But what I'm saying is, it'll be a nice fight. I'm getting off the subject. It'll be a nice fight. I want to see it. But let's not go crazy about how Usyk moves and Fury moves. I mean, Fury's for his size. Now, they used to say in baseball, Dave Winfield was a hell of an athlete for anybody's size.
He could have gone pro in every sport.
ABA, basketball, baseball, and football. That is an athlete.
Yeah.
Now, when somebody says a 350-pound lineman moves good for his size, okay, that's good. But Fury moves well for his size. But please don't mention he moves like Muhammad Ali. And there's some boxing announcers out there that so. The only thing he reminds me of Ali is he's got 2 arms and 2 legs. That's it. Okay. Now he moves well for his size.
Ali started fighting in 1960, ended in 1980. There was no point where Fury reminds you of Muhammad
No.
Ali. How about
No.
76?
I give
How
Fury
about
all the credit in the world,
76,
but no,
74?
Stop. No.
Now,
at
when
no
people
point.
say,
How about the rope-a-dope Ali?
no, when people say Tyson Marciano, I can see it. I
Yeah.
can see it. They were both sluggers. They went after, they were finishers.
I can
something
see
like
that.
But please. Now, we do want this fight, though. Having said all that, we do want this fight, Usyk and Fury. Then the winner of that fight gets Wilder and Ruiz, which I think it'll be Wilder.
Or Joyce. Even Joyce can get in the mix. I'd
Wilder
like to see
can't
Joyce
beat
get in there.
Wilder can't beat Ruiz.
Jim.
Well, we'll bet on
There's
that.
another one
And
real
you'll-
quick.
you'll catch
There's
another
another
L.
one real quick. You know, Ruiz, they say he's a great boxer. He moves. To me, a boxer's got hit, move, and does what Ali did. Of course, he's who he was, but Ruiz is not. He's good. He's all right.
What combination? That's what.
And we've seen him get
Luther,
dropped
really,
by
is he
lesser
that
punches.
great? And who did he beat? I mean, Areola stuck him. He beat Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua isn't who he thought we were.
And I do
He
think
beat
I
the
do
Cuban.
think
He knocked the Cuban
He
out.
beat 60-year-old Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, well, don't nobody hit
Oh,
harder
okay.
than
And
that.
I think
Who hits
he
harder?
was robbed against Joseph Parker. I believe.
Yeah.
But
All right.
the point is, we've seen
Does he have quick
Andy
hands?
Ruiz get dropped by lesser punches than Wilder.
And we seen him drop Ruiz. I mean, we seen him
Ortiz.
drop Ortiz.
Yeah, he
who
was
hits
60
harder.
years old.
He hits harder than Wilder.
No, all right, Jim. Come on, man.
Just as hard?
No,
We're gonna do-
nobody hits as hard as Wilder.
We're going to do
in
our
heavyweight
quick
division. Stop.
boxing mailbag. Continue to send your great comments and questions at boxingmailbag@yahoo.com. Big Puncher, we haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you, brother. I think Ryan Garcia has it physically to be a champion, but not the attitude. Thoughts, Luther?
No, I don't think he has.
Think about it, Luther.
No, he does not. He doesn't have that. He's an IG model. He likes the clout. I don't think he works hard. Canelo said he doesn't work hard in the gym. Not my words, Canelo Alvarez's words. And I think if he fights Tank Davis, he's going to get stopped in brutal fashion. He keeps his chin way too high. He's very flat-footed. And I think his flaws will be exploited.
And you say he's like Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray was the exact opposite of that. He didn't keep his head up and he danced.
And he wasn't
moved.
flat-footed. He wasn't
Actually,
flat-footed.
actually what I said is he's a combination of Oscar De La Hoya.
I
and
never
Sugar
heard him
Never
say
heard
that.
that.
I've never heard you say
No, I said
that.
he has Oscar's good looks and media.
Well, we're not talking about
and
looks.
media
We're not talking-
things,
there you go with
and
this
he got
fashion stuff.
Sugar Ray Leonard's
In the
fast.
ring.
He's better than Sugar Ray Leonard,
How?
in my opinion.
How?
In my opinion.
Okay,
Oh.
so you're saying he does have it physically and mentally, attitude to be a champion.
You guys got to run these tapes back and get what I say.
Running back. All right. Well, as always, we hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boxing Authorities.